guys, welcome back to this week's Lovin Show. I am here with my co-host Casey.
Hi.
And we are joined by one of Hollaphonic's member, Olly. Welcome to the show. How
Pleasure.
are you doing?
Yeah, awesome,
Welcome,
very
Olly.
good.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
So as you guys may know, this is Hollaphonic's actually a British DJ and production duo, and they're doing the most, not just in Dubai, but around the world too, which we'll get back to in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, to break the ice,
Yeah.
we will start off with a game.
Yes.
As
Okay.
mentioned earlier.
I'm in for it. I know what's coming. Yeah.
I think our games are getting cheesier and worse as they go, but
I love it.
I quite
Cheesy
like
is
the
good.
name of this one. It's called,
Yeah.
wait for it,
She thought a while for this.
it's called Greg or Ollie.
Oh, amazing! I know when you got that. I
Okay.
can see it. Okay.
So we're going
I
to
have
ask,
cards, right? Okay.
you have cards here. Do you want to show the cards that took
He's
quite
got
some time?
two cue
Well, I
cards
think
with
you
their
can
names.
guess, but yeah, it's Greg or Ollie.
It's not self-explanatory at all. So we're going to ask you a couple of names, and obviously
Okay.
Greg is
I don't know why
not
I'm
here.
looking at them. I remember what they are. Okay.
But you're going to answer for you what you suggest.
Yes.
And since Greg's not here.
And I'll answer occasionally on behalf of Greg, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, up to you.
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Okay. The first question, which is,
Okay.
who is the most likely to turn up for an interview?
Okay.
She tried
Right. But to be fair, you know, kids like it's me. I'm the kind of spokesperson. I don't know whether I decided that. Anyway,
That's a good one.
The token
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
There's always that
Maybe I
token
did.
one.
Maybe I
Casey's definitely the
spoke
one
so
for us.
fast the information was in the middle of what I was trying to say.
So you guys got to actually talk to Paris Hilton. We stalked
We did.
a bit of your Instagram feed, but who fangirled the most when you met Paris Hilton?
We were both incredibly nervous about it because we were like ready to interview DJs from around the world.
Right.
And to be fair, she was like walking in doing her. I'm not going to do. I forgot where I was.
You were
Nearly
doing
did
the
an
Paris
impression.
Hilton
Yeah,
part
yeah. So, but she was very, as you'd expect Paris Hilton to be, outside of the interview door. Then when she walked in, it was like a switch. Like, and she sat down. She started to talk about. She's been doing her
She's been
residency
DJing,
at Amnesia for 9 years. So this was the first break she got. But one thing that we kind of both went a bit fangirly over. She took a selfie with us. That was the idea.
Jealous.
But vivid warm. That's a tip. Anybody tuned in, obviously, that it's vivid warm. I know.
Is that the filter?
I am passing tips from Paris Hilton and slowly,
Oh my
Olly.
god.
Yeah.
Guys,
No,
you
but
now know what she uses.
That's what she uses, full stop.
I'm sorry,
Vivid
is that
warm.
an Instagram filter?
It's a life changer.
Is
It's
it
a-
an
it
Instagram
is.
Yeah. No, it's
It's
an
from the
iPhone
camera.
filter. Yeah, you push it up,
Ah.
vivid warm. You'll never go back.
Wow.
Maybe I
I'm
need to-
vividly
Thanks,
warm
Paris.
constantly.
So
People have
who
never
was-
seen me in this light.
So who was more vivid warm for Paris?
Olly's
Okay, this one will be an interesting one. Who's the funniest?
Me, definitely. It's not going.
This is going to be an easy game for him.
But he has his moments,
Greg
so it's
needs
kind of
someone
like.
to support.
Yeah, no.
Greg, he's being fair. Look at that. He's
Greg-
like, you have your
Greg
moment.
is extremely funny. If you follow him on Instagram, has a lot of fun on a daily basis with both his dog and in his studio.
I
so,
love
yeah,
that. So, like, who definitely lives the most out of the Dubai lifestyle, like that luxurious luxe life, you know, boats, days out, restaurants.
Boats and like okay, I
Brunches.
like boats,
Brunches.
but we've never really done like I think we got through that phase like quite early on, and so when you DJ, you're kind of in the clubs all the time.
Mhm.
So then when you take a break out of it, you become like pretty boring. But we kind of. Obviously, we had the Grand Prix last week and we did various things. So we kind of are lucky enough to have that lifestyle a little bit when we're Hollaphonic and performing.
Nice.
So the bits in between, you know.
They're a bit like
So
Hannah
neither.
Montana. innit?
Yeah, I mean, some are a bit like, I like walking my dog and like we produce a lot of music in the studio, but we're both big food fans. We've
There we
got some
go.
very serious favourite
So
restaurants.
neither one is vividly warm for the over the top.
Yeah, lifestyle, vividly warm.
Okay.
Yeah, vividly yawn.
Luke, guys, Luke. Who's most likely to be late for a flight?
Look, I am hyper organised, like in terms of a little bit kind of too organised sometimes. But Greg's quite good because his wife works with Emirates, so kind of Greg is very like
He's got that
she's
reminder
like, to
sort
be
of.
there on this time and this day. So we're both all right. But if a flight, Greg can be late for things.
Yeah, Greg. Sorry, Greg.
I feel like this is one-sided.
And
So far, you're
I
getting the
know
positive.
this is-
You're the funniest.
Yeah,
Greg's late
I'm
for
funny.
flights.
Yeah.
Imagine. So for the last one, who is more of a diva backstage? Because you get nervous sometimes before going live. Who tends to become like to have maybe diva tendencies, if you will?
we learned very, very early on. So my mum always told me, get on with the people that look after you and get on the people that make you food.
Right, exactly.
Great advice. So the people that look after us and make you food are like all around you backstage.
Good.
So as soon as you start to kind of kick off, they lose interest in you. And I think the reason we've kept on going is we get on with the lighting guy. We make sure we say hello to everybody that's doing everything, and we always get looked after. The only thing that we like is a bit of AC in the room.
Nice.
That's kind of one of the major things. And then obviously, you know, we send a rider and kind of throw a few little interesting things on.
Yeah. So what is a rider exactly to us
So when
non-artists?
when you perform, you put two riders in. One is a tech rider, which is all the lights and the screens and everything you see around that's been built for you. And obviously we don't have the big team around us yet, so we kind of do it ourselves. And the other one is the hospitality rider. That's the fun bit. That's where you get to kind of name all the things that you would really like to have, whether it's to eat or drink or whatever it may be. So, and occasionally you throw a little, it actually started off really crazy, and then things like deodorant and chewing gum. And then we looked at it again and went, whoa, this is really boring. We need to go back.
So it's like the artist wish list on the day of performance.
Yeah,
Like
I
I've heard
mean-
people ask for like blue M&Ms.
Yeah.
Steve Aoki has like 4 or 5 cakes with his logo on that he can throw, and a
That's
trampoline and things like that.
part of his,
We haven't like if we tried a cupcake once and that never happened.
So definitely neither of them are divas. Good to
No, we're
know.
alright,
But you know,
we're
they enjoy the occasional hospitality.
Luxury.
The deodorant.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys just finished performing before the Killers at the
Yeah.
Salam afterwards
Incredible.
concerts. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, very cool.
Tell us a bit about it. How did it come about? How was the night?
Yeah, well, we were always nice to everyone backstage. Yeah. So we've had a great opportunity. Then we did the Pink. We did Pink a few years ago. We did Armin van Buuren way back
Nice.
when. So we had this opportunity again, and I like to think that they can trust us because we kind of get the crowd that's out there. And it was a difficult one because we're an electronic act, and you know, you look at the Killers are performing, and you kind of think, right, how do I have to change the music that we're doing? But by the time we ended, everybody was, you know, call and response. They were all singing and dancing and everything.
Yeah.
So I think we did a good job, and it was a good vibe. And it was nice to be backstage and like seeing all the Killers, roadies, and everybody there, and kind of catching up with them. And after the gigs, they were like, "Oh, good job, guys." So, you know, that's all you want to do: get people from a standing start to at least a side step.
That's the goal.
That's an opening act achievement. Yeah.
And did you meet Brandon Flowers?
No, I didn't. I didn't. We were on such a high when we kind of came off stage. We went backstage. We were like, yeah, sat down in our room, and then we went, we'll go out and see the guys. They'd already gone on stage. So yeah, we had to go to another gig afterwards. So, but yeah, he's a bit of a legend.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
saw the performance. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we were gutted that we had to leave, but yeah, he looked phenomenal.
It's been a busy weekend for you guys.
It has. It's busy season. You know, as soon as the weather gets cooler, everything kind of kicks off, and we try and make the most of it. Yeah.
Everything. But you guys, so we were watching a few of your YouTube videos. One for Spaceship. We noticed a lot of Thai comments.
Yeah.
Okay, and we also saw your the link on your Instagram story, the Thai story. So tell us about that success overseas that you guys have received and how that's been for you guys.
Well, it was great. Look, we you know, you kind of, as an artist here, you always want to break out of the territory that you're in and try and get that bit of kind of international recognition. So we had Spaceship as a track that we made in the UK with a great singer, and it was just the luck, really. Honestly, it was the luck. One guy at there's a big Chinese company called Tencent, and they have this big Spotify-like streaming platform. This one guy put our song on one playlist.
Wow.
Didn't work. Believed it enough, put it on 3 playlists, and we had like 20, 30 million streams later. We were the #1 track in Thailand for the whole of 2018.
Takes that one person.
Yeah, it beat Chainsmokers, Ed Sheeran, everything was crazy. So we have now gone over there. We've produced tracks for 5 of their biggest artists that come out this year. And yeah, we're backwards and forwards. We've got a documentary out there. People use the lyrics of our songs to learn English.
Nice.
It's been a really crazy experience. And it's kind of nice to go over there and have that, and then kind
You're
of...
like the K-pop band
Yeah.
in reverse.
Yeah, I think that,
The ultimate. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
But it's not just Thailand, right? You're also working in China and a lot of other
Yeah.
countries. Like, how are you expanding in all these places?
Well, look, I think it's very easy to cut, you know, as English guys that have lived here, we've been here 30 years combined we've been here, you know, from the early days. And so from our side, it's very easy to want to go back to the UK and do the thing there, but it's a hugely mature market and it's very competitive. So we kind of thought, right, and triggered by this Thailand thing, let's look east. And, you know, and there's such a good vibe. There's not as much cynicism as I think. There's not as much, anger about music or opinions. That everyone's just pleased you're creating. So it was an interesting process. So China, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Indonesia, and obviously Thailand are big focuses for us right now. And it's been going really, really well. We've done some great remixes and working with some big artists.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, you probably have fans, obviously, at this point. Do you have any weird fan moments? Anything to tell us? Like maybe an odd DM that you guys have received?
There's a lot
I love the odd DM question.
Yeah,
I love the odd
DM.
DM question.
Yeah, look, we had a few strange ones. Yeah, I'm scanning through my mind of what can be repeated. There's a lot of requests to feature on songs and a lot of artists that get involved, and we try and respond to everybody that sends us messages on any platform.
Nice.
There's a lot of signing things that people want to be signed. There's a lot of, can you meet me here? The Middle East is really funny because there's a lot of like, people actively want you to travel to locations to meet them. Can we meet? I'd love to meet you. Can we meet on Wednesday at this burger joint in the middle of Jamaica? It's like, kind of like. But then when we first started off, we would get people going, "When are you coming to the Middle East?" And we're like, "Well,
we're here.
If you want to meet at Spinneys, So.
That's interesting. But you also, we touched on it a little bit, but you've collabed on a K-pop song.
Yeah.
And K-pop is, for those like not into it, it's massive, like millions and billions.
I think you can
and Twitter.
you can not be into it, but you can't have ignored it. It must have been part of your like psyche over the past few months. It's gone crazy.
How did that come about?
Yeah, we made a track in Thailand again in the great studios there, and one of the girls that was working with this Japanese producer we work with, her brother was this guy, Kevin Wu. He was in one of the starter kind of K-pop acts, UKISS. And he was like, I'm gonna go and do something with the K-Con, which is the big K-pop tour. It's like this machine. It's a crazy machine. Everyone's like, oh, Pop Idol. It's like, this is the original machine of like, this creating things. And so, yeah, we ended up creating a track in the studio with him. And then he said, I'm going to perform this weekend. Can you send it to me as an instrumental so I can do it? And he performed it at Madison Square Gardens in front of like the whole place was filled. It was absolutely crazy. But yeah, I don't know if you know this, but in K-pop world and actually in J-pop, the Japanese world, is in order to be able to get a Japanese, you can buy loads of albums. And if you buy the most amount of albums, the same album, you get to pick who the head man or head kind of lady is, the front man, front woman of the band. So you go, they still sell CDs like they have Virgin Megastores and Tower Records and stuff in there. So you can buy like 1,000, like a wealthy young Japanese kid can buy 1,000 records, and they get the same record. And they go, I want this guy to be the lead in the next video. I want this guy. It's kind of, and they all have characters rather than abilities. So like abilities, but like one's not a better singer. One's like happy. One's sad. It's like the Seven Dwarfs of music.
It's a whole other world.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's very like engaging, and how they treat that kind of thing is like off the charts.
Oh my God. But before we actually get on to other questions, I want to ask how you guys formed Hollaphonic. How'd you guys meet? How did this start? Let's give a bit of the background story.
So it was a simple, we both met, I actually first met him not too far away at JBR, going up to rent a house, and then I walked in and he was the guy that was my landlord. I was like, oh, okay, and immediately in my head like, I ain't renting this house. No. I'm enjoying it. I just want to keep breaking that. And
we could if you'd like.
It was a nice house. If you're renting it right now, I was like, yeah. And then so we then like it went a while not meeting each other. Then we were at Atlantis, and we kind of would like DJing and performing whatever separately, and we were both looking for each other's kind of characteristics. So it's like music speed dating. It was like, you want someone to write songs, you're producing, and we kind of met in the middle. And it was one of those moments where you say you're going to do something and you follow up immediately. We were in the studio 2 days later. 2 months later, we signed to Universal, and 4 months later, we had a #1 album.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a whirlwind. And then we kind of went, yeah, this is working, so let's stick at it. And then it's just been hard work.
And to those who don't know, how long ago was this?
2013, so I didn't mention that.
Wow.
Yeah, 2013.
That's a while back.
And so obviously you met here. The UAE is not kind of the obvious place to start a music career and to expand and grow.
Yeah.
But you're still here and you're growing.
Yeah.
Why would you stay here? Like, what are the benefits?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, it's. I don't think it was an obvious place. I think it's getting there now. I think there's just so many great artists that are kind of growing. For us, the exciting thing about here is you're very central. So that Asian kind of Eastern and then the kind of Western world thing, you're quite in the middle. I think you have great opportunities here. You know, so Killers the weekend. You know, we know how much it would have taken to actually do that in another territory that was more mature. It's a very interesting place for the rest of the world. But I think, you know, there isn't a foundation of a music industry from the publishing and stuff. So you have to be very creative with the way you make money. It's an ongoing discussion. But I think for us, it's an exciting time to be here. Saudi Arabia, what's going on in the UAE as well. So yeah, we like it, and people pass through. So we kind of take artists as they come through. The secret is grab the artists backing singers, because they are always amazing. So we did a track with all of Justin Timberlake's Tennessee kids on a track. They were like 3 Grammy winners. It was amazing. Wow. So we kind of find those guys and get the labels and other artists to connect us. So it's an interesting kind of crossing point for the world of music. So yeah.
Very cool.
So on that note, what do you wish to see more in the EDM scene here in Dubai?
More. I think there needs to be more discussion with global talent and global artists. So we go to Amsterdam each year and go to Amsterdam Dance Event, and the world comes there and everybody's passing ideas and swapping. So I think not just in electronic music, generally, there's a lot of really good things that happen, but it's a lot of the same people having the same conversation and kind of going around in circles. I'm one of them, you know. Yeah. So I think if the world can get involved with it, and I think people take this space more seriously, and they are doing, because you know the Angamis and again the Saudi big events, the money that's spent on live, if it can be spent on nurturing talent, that's really, really cool. And again, I think, you know, if people look at the kind of publishing side of things, if we can standardize that would be amazing.
What do you mean in terms of like if you're creating rather than it just going out somewhere for free?
Well, I mean, look, in the UK, for example, and a lot of other territories, you've got Publishing Rights Society, which you sign up to as an artist. They collect the money from malls, from radio, from whatever it may be, and they funnel it in and they split it out for you. Currently, that doesn't exist here. Mm-hmm. So when you sign up, we get a record played on BBC Radio 1 and they send us £100. It's amazing, you know, but it varies country per country. And here, it doesn't exist as yet. There is laws in place, but it kind of needs to move forward a little bit. And I think that's a very interesting space because, you know, people only started taking notice of it when their YouTube videos got pulled down. Yeah. And I think if they formalize it a bit more, it could be a really interesting area. So
it's a tricky space for young artists, but you'd still recommend it because it's an interesting...
Yeah, I mean, it's good if you can have... It's collected, but it's collected by a lot of the big kind of like record labels and stuff, you know. Mm. So, but it's better when it's independently collected because you have more control over it and people can be more creative.
Good. Okay. So my final question for you is: can we talk about Spaceship?
Yes.
Because I'm aware that this song it or it will be played in a
it was.
actual spaceship.
Yeah.
NASA chose it.
Yeah. So basically,
such a nice track.
Yeah. Do you like it? Good. So Spaceship was something we created, and this guy Barber who we made it with, we were like, what should we write a song about? What's the vibe of this music? We're like, I like space. so that was it. We wrote a love song set in space, and NASA picked it up as part of their journey to the moon. You know, so it was a playlist that they created for astronauts to train to, and then for them to fly to the moon and actually kind of listen to on that pretty long journey.
Out of this world.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know why I said it.
Hang on.
Does he also like bad jokes?
If you joined us late.
Greg, shout out.
Yeah.
To finish up, we always love asking this question. I don't know if you want to answer for Greg or for both of you together.
Go for it.
But if you were at if you had a dinner table with 3 people, dead or alive, who would you like to be on it?
Yeah, difficult one. That is, look, right now, we've always liked, production-wise, we've always liked Calvin Harris's production. You know, we think Calvin Harris is super interesting. I'd like to get Ricky Gervais in there as well.
Love him.
I would 100,000,000% want Gary Rhodes to cook the meal, because he's very close to our hearts. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, who else would be in the mix as well?
That's a nice mix.
Martin Scorsese. Yeah, I've just watched. I'm like very like, what have I just seen? But yeah, no, Martin Scorsese would be great.
I like that you chose highly
I
talented
chose a
people
fourth
from a
person,
lot of
yeah,
different. Yeah,
yeah. No,
That's
it's
a good way
quite a
to do it.
variety.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is the end of our show, Greg.
Yeah.
Ollie. Oh my days.
We put up the Greg cue card so much.
Grolly, we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that like I can see Greg or Greg.
No, but before we go, we want you to talk about all the upcoming things Hollaphonic has, all of that. If you'd like to tell your followers.
We're kind of twisting the sound that we've had previously and going back down. 2020 is all about house music for those house lovers. So lots of pianos, lots of vocals. We've got some exciting releases coming up on big Dutch labels, on big like major labels as well. We're performing at the W in Abu Dhabi New Year's Eve, so get down there. We'll be back for then, so that'll be super cool. And yeah, it's just keep at Hollaphonic, keep looking.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Okay, that is it for us. We are back same time, same place next week on the Lovin Show.
Bye.
Bye.
Lovin'.